Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, and I am here for day 2 of the Flowering Foils series this week that I've promised you. Day 2 of Coronacation here in the Sullivan household, and you know, it's gonna shape up to be a long week if we're trying to find things to do inside the house because everything is shut down. So I thought with all this time here at home, I could spend a little more time in the studio and bring you a few extra projects for the week. Woohoo! All right, so yesterday was Make It Monday. And I shared this fantastic project with you. It was made using Flirty Flamingo cardstock and inks and that stunning Flowering Foils Designer Series paper, which you can get for free with a qualifying purchase of $50 or more out of the Celebration catalog. This is now through March 31st. So there are just a couple of weeks left, so if you want it, you better go get it. Because Celebration items are as available while supplies last. And as one thing sells out, people move on to the next thing. So very soon, everything will be sold out, and that will be a sad day. So we'll hope that you guys all get your fabulous paper packs. Now, I have posted a promotional deal now through the end of March, while supplies last, of course, that if you purchase the So Sentimental Bundle, that's the stamp set and the stitched So Sweetly dies, that we will be featuring this week during this video series, as well as the Designer Series paper. If you purchase the bundle and a pack of Stampin Dimensionals, or today's project is going to be using a light Highland Heather Stampin Blend, you could purchase that. But you'll need some little small thing to put your order over $50, and then you'll get this paper pack for free. Now, when you have ordered this bundle and you get this as your free item, I will also send you a free pack of the Rhinestone Basic Jewels that we're using this week for our projects. So that way you can complete these projects as I'm doing them here, or you can go rogue and do your own thing. And either way is totally fine. So, what do you need for today's project? I've got this fabulous I Can't Thank You Enough card, and we're using Whisper White and Highland Heather for our colors today. You'll notice throughout the week, much like yesterday's was Whisper White and Flirty Flamingo, that each day will have a color theme. So we also use the Tasteful Textures stamp set. We're using this stamp right here because, as you can see, it matches so well with the Designer Series paper, right? So today's project is going to need, let me get my supplies here and move this out of the way. You're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. This is going to make your card base. Now, you can use a regular Whisper White for this if you want to, because you've got multiple layers here. But if you want a good sturdy card, make sure that you use thick Whisper White. You're also going to use a piece of 4" by 5 1/4 inch Highland Heather, and that's going to layer right there. Then you will also use a piece of 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 Whisper White. Now this is going to leave you with a really thin strip of that heather around it, which is going to be great. It's going to give you just enough color. You're also going to use the Stitch So Sweetly dies to die cut a piece of white cardstock for our sentiment. We're going to use I Can't Thank You Enough as the stamp from the set. And we're going to stamp the sentiment in Gorgeous Grape ink. So you'll need that. And then we'll do the accent on the inside. Remember, no naked insides, no naked envelopes. So we're going to use Highland Heather to stamp this fabulous little floral piece on the inside and on the envelope. So you'll need those. You're also going to need a piece of 4" by 1.5" of the floral DSP, and I have already colored it in with the Stampin Blend to save time, but I've used the light Highland Heather, so you'll need those. I also have a piece of the Whisper White Polka Dot Tulle Ribbon, which I love. And we're going to color this also with the Highland Heather, so I'll still be able to show you how to color using the Stampin' Blends. But this piece measures 13 inches approximately. And then, of course, we'll need those beautiful little rhinestones. So let's go ahead and scoot this stuff over, and we will get started on our project. All right, the first thing I want to do is get my little spot here so that I can color the ribbon. I'm going to color this first. It just takes a split second for it to dry, but since I am putting it on white cardstock, I want to make sure that it really is good and dry. So we'll go ahead and color it first, set it to the side, and it's sure to be done by the time we're ready for it. So coloring ribbon is super simple and easy, just like I showed you yesterday if you watched that video. You're just going to use the brush tip and you're sliding across the side of it along the ribbon. Now this tool is a little bit harder to color than that white seam binding was yesterday because it has these different textures and different materials, the tool and then the dots. So we'll have to do just a little bit more work than we had to with the seam binding yesterday, but you will see that it still turns out very, very pretty. So I just flipped it around. I haven't flipped it over yet, but we will because as you can see, it doesn't color all the way through the way that the seam binding did. And that has a lot to do with these little polka dots, whatever material they're made out of. It just doesn't bleed through as well. So we just want to flip it over and then color the back side also. And that's no problem. It's very easy. Let me turn this around here so I can get this side. There we go. Now, another way that you could color the ribbon if you wanted to is by putting a little bit of re-inker in a glass jar with a little vinegar and water. And when you do that, then the fabric from the ribbon will soak up the color and make it beautiful. But if you're in a pinch, in a hurry, and want it right now, and don't want to have to wait, then this is your other method of coloring. Okay, so now I can set these off to the side. There we go. All right, and now I want to get the sentiment piece and the Gorgeous Grape ink. We'll go ahead, tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. Ink up our sentiment piece here. Line it up and stamp straight down. Give it a little pressure and hold for a second. Lift it straight up, and that gives you a nice, rich image. There we go. All right, now we can start assembling. This card is really, really quick and easy. Okay, we have some snail. Line it up on the card layer. There we go. And then on the base of the card, there we go, very good. And now our designer series paper strip. Just going to put it approximately an inch from the bottom. This is not an exact science, but roughly. There we go. Alright, now that ribbon probably is dry. It literally takes seconds. What I'm doing is just putting a few little strips of snail right there on the card base itself so that I can stick the ribbon onto it. And I'm just making a Z and grabbing it in the center and then pushing it down onto the card. Now I still have a little time to finagle it and lay it out how I want it to look. So it's not set in stone right off. You've at least got a minute here that you can play with it. Alright, there we go. Give it a little push. Okay, now I'm going to take some dimensionals and put on the back of this sentiment piece. And we are almost done already, which is great. I love it when a card is quick and simple. There we go. There we are. And just like that. Very good. Okay, now we can take our bling 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 and we can add some rhinestones. So let's go one here. Oop, stick, there we go. 1 and 2 there. Give them a little push. There we go. And then on the inside of the card, we're going to use that textured stamp and Highland Heather. And just like we did yesterday, we're going to stamp right here in the corner. Now you'll notice over the course of this week that I'm doing the same thing on the inside of each of the cards, and that's because I want them to look like they belong in a set together. So as the week progresses, you will see different layouts and designs using the same stamps and dies, using the same designer series paper, and the same basic look, but they'll all be different, which will be absolutely fabulous. Alright, so let me grab an envelope here. Now for the envelope, I'm going to stamp one time on the front corner. Right there. And then I'm going to bring back my little cushion here, and I'm going to stamp on this corner. Offset just a bit, and we're done. Alright guys, what do you think about that? Quick, simple, easy, fabulous, beautiful card. Ready to go. Fantastic little thank you card. And it goes perfectly with yesterday's card. Alright guys, I hope that you loved this project. I hope you loved yesterday's. I hope that means that you will stick with me all week long. We're going to have a great time and make good use of this semi-quarantine from the COVID-19 virus. So remember, folks, that there are just a couple of weeks left in Celebration 2020. So you have until March 31st to place those orders and get free products. And folks, there are a lot of really cool products, not just this paper, but also stamps and punches and embossing folders, and you just don't want to miss it. So head over to my website, danasullivan.stampinup.net, click the shop button, find Celebration. You'll see all kinds of fabulous things that you're going to want to get, and you have until March 31st to do that. Alright guys, you'll find the instructions for these and other projects on my blog, stampinchicktn.blogspot.com. I hope to find you on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. I think that's all. You can use the hashtag #TheStampinChick to find me there. Alright guys, have a wonderful day. Bye for now.